What is going on, guys? My name is Tyler Austin, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to find cash buyers for those properties. Previously we spoke about some free ways to find motivated sellers, okay, and now we're going to talk about free ways to find true cash buyers, okay. I'll go into a little bit more on how to pull a list for them and market to cash buyers, but we're talking about you find a property, okay, you got it under contract, and now you need to find a serious cash buyer that's interested in properties around that area that you have that property under contract in. And I'm telling you what, this is gonna change your game. And it doesn't matter if you go to Texas, Florida, where I'm at, Pennsylvania, the Carolinas, it doesn't matter where you are, you can go into that market with the tactics that I showed you in the previous video on how to find free sellers, okay, and with what I'm going to show you now with buyers, and you're going to be able to find a contract and get it sold, no problem. Alright, so now we're going to hop over to the computer, okay, and we're going to show you I would say 3 primary things that I do in order to find my cash buyers. Now this is my targeted approach, okay? There is a wide way to do this, and then this is my targeted way, and it's always the very first thing I do, even before I'm under contract on a property. I want to know how hot is that area. Now, I'll do another video totally separate to find hot zip codes. If there's a hot zip code there, then there's buyers that are probably buying around that zip code, but who is that buyer? Okay, and what properties are they buying, and do they have cash, or are they using hard money lending? This is all information that you want to do, or rather information gathering that you want to do before you actually get a property under contract. But obviously first and foremost is getting that thing under contract, and then worry about selling it later, okay? But you also don't want to take up a bunch of your time dealing with properties that you will never be able to sell because it's just, maybe it's in too remote of an area, or it's a property that nobody's investing in because this other area is hot right now. Okay, you want to understand your market, and the best way to understand your market is just digging in and getting the information, and I'm going to show you kind of how I go about doing that. And it may differ a little bit between my market and your market, but the biggest thing is that this is available in every single market. It's just the website might be different, and I can't tell you what that website might be, but I'll talk about that a little bit more once we hop on my computer, and I'll show you the screen. So I'm just gonna hop in here and just stick with me, and I promise you, as long as you implement these steps, as well as some of the other videos that I've given, dude, you guys are gonna kill it. Okay, what's going on, guys? So we're in right now on my Okaloosa County Property Appraiser's website, and basically all we need to do here is we're gonna look up a property. We're just gonna go to a random property, and I'm gonna show you basically one tactic to look around that property to find out if there's any sort of investor that is buying properties around there. So let's just do search by map. Now, to find your local Okaloosa property site like this, or not Okaloosa, but to find your property site, just go to your, go to Google and search in whatever county you have, and then property appraisers, and then you'll be able to find this exact website. So you can go to the map. I'm gonna kind of just let it load here for a second. Let me scroll in. When you go to the map, it can be a little bit glitchy, so let's see here. All right, let's just go over to let's go down here to Niceville. Here we go. This will work. We'll just choose some random property kind of down here. Alright, so this is the property appraiser website. It kind of looks like this, got a grid system. Another one for like on your phone would be like LandGlide. It uses the same type of geospatial information, GIS, and it kind of puts it here for everybody to see. So every single county has one of these websites. Okay, you just got to Google whatever county you're in, and then property appraiser site, and this should be underneath there, or whatever county you're in, GIS or something like that. So now all you got to do is find a property. Let's just say we have this property under contract right here. Let's just go ahead and select it. On the right hand side here, you can see all the information. We see it was bought in 2015 for $212,000. We see the owner, we see their situs address, which is the physical address, and all that information. So we got this property under contract, okay, and we're gonna try and find a buyer for this property. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna go up and down this whole street, okay, and we're gonna select every property next to it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the mailing address and see if the mailing address and the situs address are different. And then we're also gonna look at the name of the person that owns it. So we're gonna look at the property to the right of him. Okay, that's the same. We're gonna keep going through here. Okay, life estate. So that might be a property contact to actually buy. Let's go, keep going here. 925, that's the same, that's the same. So we're just gonna click through, we're gonna try and find basically an absentee owner, hopefully in a business name, because if it's in a business name, then most likely it's an investor. So there's 909. We're just gonna keep clicking through. And the reason I'm gonna show you multiple different methods here is because you aren't gonna have, every single property isn't gonna have investors down the street, right? But this is the best way to find the most motivated buyer, because if, let's just say for example, there's someone who owns 5 properties on this street, who do you think we're gonna contact in order to purchase this property? It's gonna be that guy that owns multiple properties in this street. So this is a good sign. It's a P.O. box. So what we would do then is let's just use this person as an example. We're gonna go ahead and copy his name, okay? Because it's a P.O. box. If it's a P.O. box, that means this might be an investor. They bought it in 2010 for $133. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna back out from here, and we're gonna do search by owner's name. And I'm just gonna search just their name and see if they have multiple properties. Okay, they only have that one, and it is their homestead. I should have seen that. So we're not gonna worry about that one. If I go back, it's gonna take me back again. That sucks. Okay, so let me do this real quick. Let's go in the street. Let's go, a lot of properties in here. Stop it. Let's just take this one. Green Garden Property Inc. is who owns this property somewhere. We're going to show the parcel map. Alright, so we have, I don't know what property this is, but you notice that it has Property Inc. as the owner of that property. We notice it's also a different address. So we're going to look over to the one to the right, also under that same person. And then this one is not. Okay, so we're going to look across the street. That's vacant. That's not owned by anybody. So that's kind of interesting. There's a parcel inside of a parcel here. That's weird. So if I was to click through here and I was to get, let's just say I ended up buying this piece of property right here. It's a pretty big chunk of land. If I was to buy that and get that under contract, and I were to click through here and I were to see that Green Garden Property Inc. own these 2 properties, you know, they would be one of the first people that I would contact because of the fact that they already own land in the same area that I'm looking to buy. So that's one way, okay? That's one way to find a motivated buyer that is interested in properties in the market or the, you know, at least the area that you have a property on a contract. And that is one of the very first things, in fact, even before I even get a property on a contract, that I do in order to, you know, find a buyer. The next big thing, this is huge. This is huge. I cannot express to you enough of how good this is. Okay, if you're talking about trying to find someone that definitely has cash ready to close, it's going to be from tax deed sales and foreclosure sales, because you have to have that money available within like 24 hours of the sale. So what I did is I just kind of Googled it here to show you Okaloosa tax deed sale. Any county that you're in, just type the county name and then it's just tax deed sale. In my case, it goes to, I think it goes to Okaloosa clerk here, and then I can click on okaloosa.realtaxdeed.com. A real tax deed is used on a lot of counties, so you might want to check out that website and then see if they have your county. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the website and click on the calendar. There should be a calendar available, and then click, next, and you're gonna find when the last auction was. In this case, I went forward, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go backwards. I'm gonna find, okay, so on September or October 9th, there was a tax deed sale. See how there's 4 and then TD for tax deed? I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna look at it. It says auction status redeemed, which means that the property I think was taken back over by the person, so we don't care about that. And then the rest were canceled. And if they're canceled, that basically just means that they paid their taxes on time. So we're gonna go previous auction. All right. I don't know why it shows bid on here. I never bidded against that party. Okay, but here's what I want to show you. So notice how this one says auction sold, and then it has the date that it's sold and then the amount. Okay, so $2,700, third party bidder. Okay, so what we would do then is we can click on this, see the tax deed number, we can click on that, and then it's going to take us to some more information. Okay, and it's going to show the interested party, the owner, and the property. You would then contact them because they have cash available. Granted, this was only $2,700, but that's because it was a tax deed. Another way that we can do this is we can then look up this property address in the county associated with it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look. So notice here there was a trustee deed from the tax collector's office that went to this person right here. Notice that it is a separate mailing address than the location of the property. If I show property maps, I'm going to be able to take another look here. Just a little chunk of land. For whatever reason, they bought it. Okay, so we know that they're interested in buying land around that area. So now we can go ahead and we can contact them, say, hey, we noticed that you bought some property from tax auction. Are you interested in any other properties, to increase your investment portfolio? Not every single one is going to line up and be the right person for you. Okay, that was like a little piece of land. That might not be something I would be interested in, but here we go. This is a $12,000 one. Okay. Another way to do it is to use the parcel ID. It's easier than the address. So let me go use the parcel ID instead. So propertysheriff.com, these people buy a lot of properties from tax auction in my area. I don't know why they're buying them, but I might contact out and reach out to this company, and I might say, hey, I noticed you guys buy a lot of properties. Do you guys have buyers? Are you guys looking to maybe work together? Okay, so utilize the foreclosures and the tax auctions to your benefit to increase your buyers list just exponentially, because these are people that have cash. In order for Property Sheriff to buy this property for $12,000, you have to have that 12 grand uploaded into this tax deed website or up into here. So you have to make a deposit, and it has to be ready for that auction. So they have cash, it's there. So that you're gonna have a higher chance to have a qualified buyer. Okay, so those two things alone are just absolute gold. Okay, you really want to take advantage of these two things, increase your buyers list, and of course some other things you can do on your buyers list is post on Craigslist, have a on Carrot website for your buyers and your sellers. I get probably 3 to 5 new buyers on my On Carrot site every single day. Now that does not necessarily mean they're a qualified buyer. You know, we reach out to them, we talk to them, and we send them through our onboarding process as a buyer. We try and sit down with them in person and talk to them about their investment goals, you know, what kind of price range they want. But OnCarrot does a good job on having them give you that information so you're prepared for that conversation. Opening bid starts off, you'll see around 50,000 or so. Like here, this one, opening bid 28,000. It's a $477,000 house, assessed value or land. You know, here's this one, opening bid 82,000. Most of those ones, it's a tax deed, but there might be some other stuff going on with it. So look for these ones that are for those high dollar amounts, you know, because that's a cash buyer that you know has a decent amount of cash. This one right here, amount 60,000. This is a perfect one. Okay, so I take that one, I go ahead and throw him in as a parcel. Dang it. PropertySheriff.com. I mean, these dudes buy tax auction stuff like crazy. They're out of Tampa. So you see tax deed, boom. PropertySheriff.com LLC. So, you know, get in there, find the guys that are doing deals in your market, and then outside of that, you know, do your standard stuff, posting on Craigslist for buyers. Facebook is another good method. The same methods that I use for freeways for sellers, you can use those for buyers as well. You just got to change up your advertisement. But going through your tax deed site and your foreclosure websites to find those people that are actually buying properties, it's going to kill the game for you. Get out there and, you know, find some properties, use these methods to get those contracts sold. And I wish the best of you guys. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'm here to help you guys out. If this was of value to you, go ahead and hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Thanks guys so much. Bye.